Check. Check 1, 2. The song hits every time.
Where is my mind?
Where is my mind? Where is my mind? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This is episode number 205. If, once again, if this is your first time listening, thank you for coming. If you're a returning listener, I really do appreciate your continued support. That's why I say it every time. I really wouldn't do it without you guys. So if you like this, share it with a friend. You know the drill. Today we actually have a book review. This will be really quick because this was a book I haven't been reading because I have been a little bit focused on house stuff. We are doing the whole backyard shit. So I pretty much, my girlfriend buys flowers and then she tells me where to dig. So I've just been kind of a digging machine. I was going to say digger, but I'm going to avoid that at all costs. So I'm a digging machine. She just tells me, she's like, hey, come out and dig. And I'll go out there and she's like, I need this whole spot dug out. And I'll just go to town. And I really feel like when I'm digging, I feel like connected to my ancestry. I don't know why I feel that. I just feel like my bloodline dug a lot because I feel like I could just lock in and just dig. Like I pop a headphone in and I can just dig. I can just keep on going. Like I'm a kind of a digging machine. So I don't know what type of peasant blood stock my blood is from, but the shovel felt right in my hands, people. I don't know what that says, but it really was kind of strange. I haven't ever dug a hole before, but I put up Kobe Bryant numbers. I put up LeBron James numbers on holes per minute. Like I'm just like popping up holes and digging. It's like rocky. We're hitting. I'm prying out rocks. I'm digging. Like it's digging, and I'm just popping them out, popping in trees, plants. Well, we've repaved like the whole. I dug out like probably 5x5. No, it's probably like a 12x8 space for like paving stone, and I skimmed off. I was like leveling earth. I got into a mode I didn't know I could reach, and it felt good, to be honest. But so that's what I've been doing. I've been mostly digging, but I've been getting stronger. I gained like probably 4 or 5 pounds or something. I just feel like I feel it in my back. I just get stout. I'm getting stout. I'm getting peasant strong. Like I'm getting digging strong. So it's like it feels like real muscle, like digging muscle, like put like stock of the earth, mud men, that type of muscle. But that being said, I finished reading this. This is The Art of Fiction by John Gardner. This is a book that was recommended because I am writing a book. It goes into a lot of the ins and outs of writing, what makes writing good. Honestly, this isn't like a story-driven book, so it's not like I can recommend this. But if you ever are thinking about like writing a book, it has some good snippets in here. I'll just flip to one. And it does tell you how to like look at stories differently too, so it's cool it helps with reading too. Let's see if there's something here. No fiction can have real interest if the central character is not an agent struggling for his or her own goals, but a victim subject to the will of others. Failure to recognize that the central character must act, not simply be acted upon, is the single most common mistake in fiction for beginners. So, it has lots of cool tips. He has lots of cool little snippets from other books and other stories and ancient mythology. So, I can't really recommend it for just like a casual read. But if you are thinking about writing or you're just interested in that kind of the breakdown of the art of fiction. Check it out. It was well written. Probably one of the best instructional books I've read on writing yet. So, okay, now that we're past that, let's get into the real news, the brass tacks, as it was. I started off with that sad song because an unfortunate cloud has come over the world with the passing of the Pope. Pope Francis has died. Quick moment of silence and a quick amazing grace out to the Pope here. Let's send him out with an Irish. We send one of these out to every dead homie. Pour one out for the Pope. This also goes out to all the families who the Pope may or may not have ruined through molestation or one of his many employees. This just goes out to victims of the Catholic Church and the Pope. Let's have a moment of silence for everyone involved. This is for every altar boy that got diddled and the Pope. As we usher out a new era, we usher in a new one. One that is probably less white, maybe diverse. This could be the DEI hire for the papacy. I do love this song though, and it does make me cry every time I hear it because I do have that Irish stock in me. So, but yes, the Pope has died, and it's actually kind of crazy because the last person to really see him was J.D. Vance. So J.D. Vance kind of popped by, gave him a what's up, and the Pope died maybe hours after that. So everyone knows, I mean, J.D. Vance is part of the Skull and Bones fraternity. J.D. Vance is a Catholic. He converted to Catholicism in like 2019, which is interesting. His wife, I believe, is Indian, Hindu. So he hopped on to the Catholicism train and was one of the last people to see the Pope. So I don't know if it was maybe one of those, cough situations or maybe a handshake situation. But the Pope is dead. I will say the Pope has not been well for a long time. So I don't think J.D. Vance had anything. I don't think there's a conspiracy here. The Pope has not been doing well for a very long. If you've ever seen a picture of him, I mean, he looked like shit for several weeks before he died. So now they begin the very long process of choosing and selecting a new Pope, which we talked about it before. They do the black smoke, white smoke thing. They all go around and they have votes on who they want to be the new Pope. If it's not unanimous, then they send up black smoke. Black smoke tells everyone that we are undecided today. We'll try again tomorrow. And they do that and get until it's a white smoke. There was one Pope a while back who they sent up white smoke, and then it went to black smoke. So people say maybe he got killed, or maybe that was the introduction of two popes. So it went to white pope. They chose a white pope, and then they chose a black pope. Not literally a black pope, because there has never been yet a black pope. They're saying an evil pope and a good pope. I don't know, guys. I just report what's out there, right? I absorb, I sponge, and I release onto you. So, yeah. Interesting that J.D. Vance was one of the last people to see the Pope alive, though.
Major moment for the
So,
1.3
what is
billion
this?
Catholics around the world. Pope Francis has passed away.
Take a live look at Vatican City, where thousands of people have already gathered. The Pope will be lying in state at St. Peter's Basilica.
The world just caught a glimpse of Pope Francis on Holy Week. He even delivered one final message on Easter Sunday, showing
he was not looking good, guys.
devotion
They're wheeling him
to
out.
his role until the very end.
Also, if the Pope's hat was just a little, like, honestly, if you trimmed that hat, the Pope's hat down by maybe a 1/4 inch on every side, you're looking at a yarmulke. I mean, he's a 1/4 inch away from a full-on yarmulke. I'm just putting that out there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm saying the Pope, his hat is on the very edge of being a yarmulke, which is, I mean, maybe the whole other end of the spectrum of Judeo-Christian religions.
Senior national correspondent
And he also
Terry
died
Moran
at 88.
starts
which
us
is
off. Good morning, Terry.
number.
Good morning, Robin. In so many ways, the world had never seen a pope like Francis.
I thought he was going to say, we never saw this coming. I'm like, okay, hey, buddy. Yeah, we all saw this coming. I mean, the guy was not doing well.
All those firsts, the first pope from the Americas, the first Jesuit pope, the first pope to visit a war zone, the first pope to publicly call for...
The first Jesuit pope. Oh, no. So this pope was 100% inside of the, like, Knights of Malta and the... you know, whatever the Illuminati is, right? All the Jesuits are the ones that do all that type of shit, right? So the first Jesuit pope seems like not a good thing. I don't know why. What is a Jesuit? Can I ask Grok what a Jesuit is? Let's open up Grok real quick. Let's get inside of Grok's mind here. Grok AI. Grok, what is... Oh, can we talk to it? I feel like there was an option to talk to it. How do I talk? It would be kind of cool to have a sidekick. Okay, here we go. Let's ask ChatGPT. This has the... Yo, ChatGPT, what is a Jesuit? All right, it's loading. Jesuit. ChatGPT, you're really lagging here. Oh, it's not going to talk to me. ChatGPT does not want to talk to me today. Okay, whatever. Yo, a Jesuit is a member of the... Okay, I like how he says yo, which is a Roman Catholic religious order founded in 1540 by Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Jesuits are known for their focus on education, intellectualism, and missionary work. Motto: Ad majorem Dei gloriam, for the greater glory of God. Jesuits run a ton of schools and universities around the world. Okay. The first Jesuit pope, Pope Francis. So rest in peace. Actually, I think there's a... Where is it? The book I was reading, the book I reviewed last time, Behold a Pale Horse, had a little bit of information on the Jesuits. I got to refer to that. Let me find that. Give me 1 second. All right. Well, I didn't really find anything. I know that there's something in here, but I didn't underline it. But I did find this. Probably the most notorious Freemason lodge is the P2 Lodge in Italy. This group has been implicated in everything from bribery to assassinations. P2 is directly connected to the Vatican, the Knights of Malta, and the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. It is powerful and dangerous. The P2 Lodge has succeeded in infiltrating the Vatican and has scored a coup of tremendous significance. The Pope, John Paul II, has lifted the ban on Freemasonry. Many high members of the Vaticans are now Freemasons. I can tell you now that Freemason is one of the most wicked and terrible organizations on this earth. The Masons are major players in the struggle for world domination. The 33rd degree is split down two. One side complains... Dude, there's a Freemasonry lodge near... Like, not near where I live, but I've seen it out there. Oh, here's a good list. Oh, I actually read this, I think, last time. This is the list of the Jesuits. No, this is just a list of all the secret societies. So we've got the Order of the Quest, the Jason Society, Rashayana, the Quabala, the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of Columbus, the Jesuits, the Masons. There it is. There's the Jesuits. the ancient and the mystical order of the Rosicrucians, the Illuminati, the Nazi Party, the Communist Party, the executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations, the group, the Brotherhood of the Dragon, the Rosicrucians, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, the Open Friendly Secret Society, aka the Vatican, the Russell Trust, the Skull and Bones, the Scroll and Key, the Order. They're all the same, and they all work towards one ultimate goal: a new world order. The Skull and Bones is Yale and Harvard. So someone smarter than myself can put these connections. Here's another thing. In 1884, Pope Leo XIII issued a proclamation against the Masonry that was one of the secret societies attempting to revive the manners and customs of pagans and establish Satan's kingdom on earth. Interesting. So Pope Leo XIII banned Freemasonry, and then we got Pope Jean Paul II lifting that. In November 26, 1983, the Pope retracted all papal bulls against Freemasonry and allowed Catholics, after several hundred years, to again become members of secret societies without fear of excommunication. Very interesting. Very interesting. So that's all part of like black nobility, and I don't mean, once again, I do not mean black as in the skin color. I mean black as in dark, mysterious. So, yeah, the Pope has died. Lots of strange things around the Pope. It's just strange things. It's an interesting thing. For the longest time, I thought the Pope was I didn't know the Pope was actually such like a political thing. I always, and guys, call me retarded in the chat below if you want. I always thought the Pope was chosen through some sort of like Avatar: The Last Airbender type shit, where they lay out like toys or something, and they're like, the new Pope will choose the toys that he likes because he's a reincarnation. He's God's chosen vessel of speaking to the Catholics. So I always thought they just chose a new Pope like that, but no, it's a lot more political. There's like appointments, like people get appointed to stuff. It's interesting. But here's a list of some of the people that can become popes. I just want to focus on two people. That's Peter Turkson, which is a guy from Ghana. So Peter Turkson is maybe up next for being the Pope. I want to hear him talk a little bit. I want to hear if he talks like they are eating the...
So all of that developed, and this morning I'm just here to share some few thoughts about, from the point of view of Pope Francis, who took all what his predecessors had taught.
I am rooting for this man right here to become the next Pope. I think that we need a Pope that's going to get out there and might shake things up a little bit and say, why are you gay? Why are you gay? They eat the poo-poo. They suck the poo-poo, and they do the thing called the feasting. They do the feasting. So, guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, all right, I'll play the video for you. Why not? All right, here it is.
Thing they do is called anal leaking. A man's anal.
Oh, this is the edit. Here we go. This is the original, I think.
Good morning, everyone. Sexuality.
This is from Uganda.
Sees the light of legality in this life. A man's anus is leaked like this by the other person, like ice cream. And then what happens? Even poo-poo comes out. The other poo-poo's out, huh?
This
and
guy's
then they
face.
eat the poo-poo.
Oh.
The other one they do is
this guy's taking notes. This video is so good. This video is so funny.
Have a sex practice called fisting, where they insert their hand into the other man's hand, and it goes into the anus all the way. And it is so painful, they have to take drugs, but they enjoy it. Now, if we have any children, please step out. This is
when he asked them to step out.
guidance moment. Hey, that child can be moved out.
That
so
child,
I've done
please move him
research.
out. Now he plays
This
a
is
video.
what they
This is a video of what they do on their own. What homosexuals do in the privacy of their bedroom. And then here's this. This is the Why Are You Gay clip.
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, and you're a gay rights activist and an outspoken
Dude, these clips
lesbian,
hit me so good.
homosexual. How can I describe you? Now we're looking at the raging debate. You're a gay rights activist. Why should someone be gay? You're having a girlfriend.
Why should someone? So, guys, that is why my vote is firmly with the Ghanan, the guy from Ghana, for Pope. His name is Peter Turkson, and I know it's a bit of a long shot because he's African. I almost said African American, but he's literally from Ghana. So he is black. He's from Africa. Everyone, we can chill. So it would break a record for one. He would become the first black pope of all time, and they've got a pretty solid streak of no color, really no color at all in the papacy. A streak of probably 1,200 years, and I don't know if they really want to break that. I don't know if they're going to be thrilled about breaking that streak, but this is when it happens. This is the year it can happen. I mean, I'd love to see it just to have him up. I'd listen to a little bit more Catholic speeches. I mean, they all are so goddamn of the religions, it might be one of the most boring. My grandma, when she died, they had a Catholic mass, and I mean, it made me more sad that she died, that I had to go to that. It was it is the worst thing. It's like sitting up, standing down, and then they walk around, and then everyone gets up and has a little snack. It's so long. A Catholic mass is so long. It's the only church service that they give you a snack in the middle of. You got to have a snack to get through it. And then they do like a sleepy time. Everyone gets on their knees, and then you like legit, everyone's like, people are taking power naps for like 5-minute prayers. And they're talking in tongues. It was just a very strange situation. I've never seen that. The church situation I've been exposed to is more of the low guitar strumming guy who's definitely girl who's definitely gay, guy who's definitely into little boys. On a stage, one is strumming a guitar, one is talking softly into a microphone. Guys, we're just going to bring the temperature down just a little bit. Now I want you to lower your heads down with me now. And we're going to start he starts it high, and we're going to bring it down. We're going to bring it down just a little bit. And now we're going to ask God for forgiveness tonight. And I'm going to recap a little bit of what I talked about today. And then we're going to bring it up, and we're going to bring the lights back on, and we're going to play a little bit of rock music for you. God rock for you. And we're going to play some upbeat. The people will start dancing. Women will have their hands in the air. Guys will be tapping their foot. It's a bit of that's the kind of vibe that I've ever gone to, but I don't go to church anymore. So that's the only thing I've been exposed to. So Catholicism, if that is all to say, if Peter Turkson comes back, is the new pope, I will be invested. That's how you get me invested. You got to sell me on it, guys. We're in the 21st century. We're in 2025. You got to sell me on being a Catholic now. You got to sell me on you got to have good marketing. I think the Pope did that weird little anime girl, which just a strange move, Francis. I'm not going to lie. But you've got to have a good marketing campaign. So you got to have, and I think a black guy from Ghana is the right move. That being said, it could also be this guy from the Philippines, which is Louis Tagle. This guy from the Philippines. Now let's pop in on his situation.
Parishes and the many benefactors who worked tirelessly for your pastoral visit. And
this is
in the
Pope
name
Francis.
of every Filipino whom you have strengthened in faith these past days, I once again say to you, muchísimas gracias, tante grazie. Thank you very much.
So this guy's a cardinal from
Maraming salamat po.
So that guy's from the Philippines. So there is one from France, I think. I think his name is Pietro something. I mean, you do not want a French guy up in there. I mean, that's just asking for a bad situation, I think. So you want to keep a French guy out of that position, probably the most. So just going off of general vibe, I want the Ghanan guy to win. You know, I don't have a rat in the race, like I said, but it would be cool to have an anal licking. They do the thing called anal licking, and sometimes they even eat the poo-poo. And they do the thing called the feasting, and they put the feast so far up their anus that it hurts so bad they have to do drugs. So, which is I don't honestly. The funny thing about that is I don't know if I can actually refute that because I don't know because I don't know. I just don't know, and that makes it even funnier. So, that being said, let's move along off the Pope. So, once again, rest in peace, the Pope. Unless he did, I mean, honestly, probably not. Rest in peace. That guy's probably was up to no good during most of his life. He's probably been part of some conversations where he had to turn a blind eye. So he probably turned several blind eyes. And, I think God says turn the other cheek. I think he turned both eyes away from several situations. Many situations concerning God's own children. So, and there's a lot of things about Catholics that, there's a shuffle. There's always like that Catholic shuffle that they're moving like people around. And there's something about the big hat that I also don't like. It's also very old. It's very traditional. It is very traditional. And it just, when you get into that level of tradition, you start getting into some like weird ancient type shit. So, it is what it is. I don't know what they're up to. It just makes me feel like they might have closed rooms. And also the Vatican is its own city and also its own state. And it's the only thing that's like that. Just an interesting thing. So, yeah, let's continue on with RFK news. RFK has hit the news. This was actually a huge thing. He actually caught a lot of heat for this. I'll play the video here. Yeah, he caught a lot of heat for this, guys.
This is an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children.
So he's talking about autism. He came out and he said last week, guys, I promise you, by September, after summer, I will know the cause of autism. It would have been kind of catchier if he said autism by August. Like August, October, you get that alliteration. August, autism. So he said by September, he'll know the cause of autism. So
these are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old. And these are kids who will.
This is the part.
Never pay.
This is the part that got him in trouble here. This little bit that he goes off. He's doing what's called riffing the bit, and it just goes a little bit out of hand.
These are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize...
No toilet? Wait, so no...
They'll never write a poem.
No baseball, no poem.
They'll never go out on a date.
No
Many
dates.
of them will never use a toilet unassisted.
I mean, have you seen these people? They got no bitches. They got no bitches. Autism. Have you watched Love on the Spectrum? Have you seen the show Love on the Spectrum? These people, they had to make a whole TV show because they can't get bitches. Many of them will never go on a date.
And actually, some of the people from Love on the Spectrum came out and said, I'm disgusted by the things RFK said. I don't know, because they said, "Oh, I can play baseball, and I've written a poem, and I can go on dates." And I think RFK might be talking about the people who, because there was one guy on Love on the Spectrum that was might be closer to the one RFK is talking about. He had his headphones on, and he was like he was doing that rocking thing, and he was like crouched down and always looking behind him, like really suspicious. And he sat down for the date with this girl, and the girl got really awkward because she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "It's just loud in here." So then they went outside, and he's like, "Okay, now it's better." And then when the food came, he put on his headphones and listened to white noise full blast, and she's trying to talk to him. He takes out his headphones. He's like, "What was that?" Okay. And then he goes back to like rocking. And so, I mean, that's a little bit more, I think, of what this guy, and of course that guy is on a date, but that guy was, and then he like fully like crouched down at the end. But I mean, the goat still paid for the meal, so that guy was goated. Yeah, RFK out here.
These people will never know the touch of a woman. They'll never know what it's like to have your dick sucked underneath your desk at work. These people will never feel what it's like to go down a water slide and lose your shorts.
So, I don't know. It is a situation, because autism is a situation, guys. That's the thing that's so upsetting about this, is autism is a situation, and this is it's on the radar. It is on the radar. When it has that little green blip, it's going beep, beep, beep. You know, it is on the radar. It's something that's an issue, because if you just look at the numbers, and I'm a bit of a numbers guy. If you look at the numbers, they're not good. We went from 1 in 10,000 autism cases like 30 years ago to now we're at 1 in 36 kids are diagnosed with autism. Guys, a class in like elementary school is like 40 students. One of those kids is autistic. Which seems like a lot to go from 1 in 10,000. So there's a reason, and this, I know we're approaching some dangerous territory, talking about this, but it is a thing that's happening. So you have to just look it dead on. You can't just ignore it. Why are people becoming autistic at an increasing rate? Why is that? That's all he's asking. He may have put it a little bluntly.
They will never know what it's like to drive 110 miles down the highway listening to music at high volume. You'll never know what it's like to hydroplane and see your life flash before your eyes.
You know, he may have just approached it from the wrong direction. But it is an issue that needs to be approached. And I mean, if he can figure it out by September, I mean, he might be the GOAT of all time, like the greatest of all time, the GOAT. I mean, figuring out autism that seems like a tough nut to crack. So let me read some autism facts. I got these fun little posters here. Autism can be reliably diagnosed as early as 18 months old. 1 in 36 kids are diagnosed with autism, which is, I mean, that's high, guys. That's a high percentage. Autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disability that can, guys, at this rate, Love on the Spectrum is going to become the norm. Like, it's going to be, The Bachelorette is just going to be Love on the Spectrum. And then there's going to be a new show that's going to be called Love Off the Spectrum. And that's going to be kind of the one where it's like, oh, he's so funny. Look, that guy's so funny because he represses his emotions. Isn't that so hilarious? Isn't it so hilarious how that guy can't say what he's feeling? And then being like atypical or not autistic will become kind of the weird kind of funny thing. And I think everyone's like maybe a little bit autistic, but boys are 4 times more likely to be diagnosed with autism than girls. That's a crazy stat. Guys, here's some early signs of autism syndrome. Autism spectrum disorder, my bad. Lack of eye contact. Okay. Not responding to their name. Social withdrawal. Lack of gestures or pointing. Rarely imitates expressions. Atypical sensory experiences. So if you guys want to check for your autism, point to something in the distance, and if they follow that point, then they're probably not autistic. But if they do, and then you scream like, ah! And you kind of scare them. If they don't react to that, then you're probably got a situation on your hands. But this is another stat. This one has it at 1 in 44 kids are with autism, but this was taken in 20 something. That is 241% higher than 2000, the year 2000, right before. So maybe we got to ask what happened in 9/11. Because we're up 240% since 9/11. Since those towers fell. Although autism can be diagnosed before a child reaches the age of 2, most kids are diagnosed at the age of 4. Boys are 4 times more likely than... Guys, what is going on? 40% are nonverbal, 44% have an above average intellectual ability, and 31% have an intellectual disability. So the nonverbal ones, I think, are the ones that Mr. RFK is talking about, where they're not writing poems, they're not able to pull up their pants, they're going to a diaper, that type of thing. But he says by September he will find the cause of autism. And I think he might be starting this off early because he yesterday decided to remove dyes, phase out 8 artificial food dyes. The Department of Health and Human Services, the HHS, and Food and Drug, the FDA, announced on Tuesday a series of measures to phase out 8 artificial food dyes and colorings from America's food supply by the end of the year. Speaking at a news conference, HHS Secretary RFK Jr. said that the agencies will work with food companies removing dyes from products. So, and I actually saw this was trending, where people are going out, and now that they're not going to be able to buy their chips with food dye, people are stocking up on like Doritos. And there might be an entire, guys, you can go, I might be bearish or bullish on this. You might be able to buy up like a shitload of it will be like old era Doritos. And it'll be like, when you dig it up, sometimes there will be clips of these in the future. Someone will find them at the bottom of some sort of rack at a old, Dollar General, and they'll find it in the very bottom, and they'll pull it out, and it'll be like one of the old Doritos, and it'll be old then, but it'll be from 2025 and they'll be like, wow, this is before they did it. And then they'll open the bag and, just chow down and get a little bit of that red dye 40. Red dye 40 have, today the FDA is taking action to remove petroleum-based food dyes from the U.S. food supply and from medications. For the last 50 years, American children have been increasingly living in toxic soup of synthetic chemicals. So, he's right. So federal are taking steps to pull authorization for 2 rarely used synthetic food colorings, citrus red number 2 and orange 8, or orange B, within the coming months. In addition, 6 other petroleum-based things are eliminated by the end of the year. Green number 3, red number 40, yellow number 5, yellow number 6, blue number 1, and blue number 2. So, guys, if you want to stock up, let's see if I'm eating these sweet tarts here. And, yes, these have blue. Also, I don't know what lake means. Yellow 4 lake, red 40 lake, blue 1 lake, and blue 2 lake. It might be just another way of saying dye. But, yes, I am on the dye. And I'm thankful that he's doing it. Because I can't self-regulate. This is just the truth. I can't self-regulate what I put in my body, so I need the government to do it for me. And that's just how it is for a lot of people. If you put a bowl of Doritos in front of me, I'm going to eat them all. It's just how it is. That's just the way things are. I can't do anything about it. It needs to be banned. It is what it is. All right. I didn't want to have to do it, but guys, we are going to enter possibly the most dangerous territory since Greg Floyd. This is we're going to talk about the track meet. But first, I have to take a fat piss. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. And I'm ready to talk about it. Guys, this has been in the news. You've probably heard about it. I didn't want to have to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it now. So we're going to take this step by step, run it back, bring it up to what's going on now, and we're just gonna go over it. So this is the story of Carmelo Anthony. So this was the first thing. On April 15th, teen accused of fatally stabbing Texas track athlete released after posting their $250,000 bond. So this teen, Carmelo Anthony, white guy, was here's the situation. They're at a track meet. This guy is under a tent for his high school. Carmelo Anthony's sitting there. He said, hey, you can't sit at our tent. You have to go sit at your school's tent. Something along those lines. And the guy, his name is... What is the guy's name? The other guy's name is Austin Metcalf. So Austin Metcalf said, hey, you have to go to your tent. You're not allowed under our tent. And he, I think, grabbed him or something and said, hey, you got to leave. And Carmelo Anthony said, hey, if you put your hands on me again, see what happens. Austin Metcalf put his hands on him again, and he saw what happened, which was he got stabbed to death at a high school track meet. So a lot of people, this has become, I will say this has become this has obviously become a race issue. People are, the sides are chosen, the sides for this have been chosen since birth. You have your side chosen for you. Apparently, from what I'm reading in the comments, you don't have a choice in the matter. It's like OJ. You have to pray for OJ to be released if you're black, and if you're white, you just have to sit in that room and hope that the verdict's guilty. And then if you're black, you have to stop in traffic and scream, and everyone's super happy once OJ gets released. That everyone's seen that video. That I'm getting eerie vibes that we are approaching a OJ Simpson situation. So they were saying, people in the comments have been saying that he got stabbed with what's called a cleat sharpener, which, if you try to look it up, doesn't exist. So he most likely got stabbed with a knife. So he got stabbed up. Austin Metcalf has died. And after that, like I said, this has elevated the situation to, I mean, if this was just two black students, I guarantee you this thing would be, this would be over. And this probably wouldn't even be news, by the way. I'm sorry to say that, but this probably wouldn't even be news. But now it's a race thing, and now it's like a whole situation. I mean, I don't know how to talk about this without, I don't have a horse in this race. I have an afro, which means I could go one way, and I'm white, so I could go another way. So I'm in the middle. So there is a GoFundMe created for Carmelo Anthony, which is if you're following the story at all, is the one who stabbed the kid and killed him. So and this is the part that really blows me away, his GoFundMe has raised, as of now, I'll pull it up, his GoFundMe, called Help Carmelo, has funded $509,000. So if you look up here, they've raised $509,000. Help Carmelo official fund. Support the Anthony family. We are grateful for your support during this incredibly difficult time for Carmelo Anthony and his family. The fundraiser has been established to provide comprehensive assistance to the Carmelo Anthony to navigate the many challenges surrounding Carmelo's case. So they have gotten $500,000 from this GoFundMe, and they recently bought interestingly enough, the Carmelo family has recently invested in a new house because they say that that they don't feel safe at their current house. So the stresses of the case have escalated to the point where they just had to buy a bigger property, which I don't blame them. It's a great time to buy. They could probably buy down their interest rate to maybe 5%, maybe 5.5. Put 3.5% down, sell their current house, get a pretty sizable down payment. They're probably looking at not too much more of a monthly payment, and they can probably pocket a good chunk of that change. They're using it for bail, but all in all, it's a pretty good decision on their part. Guys, if I had a chunk of $500,000 come in because my kid got a little bit nifty with his cleat sharpener, I might buy real estate. It is what it is. It's a great investment. It's one of the only investments that always goes up. Real estate has gone up for the entirety of time. It's buying shares of the earth. And if you're in a good neighborhood, I mean, they might be wanting to get out of the neighborhood that they're in. And I'm sure that the neighborhood that they're buying in, they just got $500,000. It's probably white, which is unfortunate. But they probably have an HOA. Maybe they're in a gated community. It's their situation is going just fine. I guarantee it. So in response, Austin Metcalf's family has opened up a Jeff Metcalf, his father, has opened up his own GoFundMe. This one has raised $523,000, which either means more people support this or that white people are richer with more disposable income. I don't know which. This is the description. Hi, I am Jeff Metcalf. My son, Austin Metcalf, was tragically stabbed today in a track school meet. They were not able to save him. He was a bright young man with a great future ahead of him. He was a leader of men. His smile would light up the room. His passion for football was unbelievable. Voted team MVP this past season and carried a 4.0 GPA. He was looking, guys, this is the stuff. And he's like, you know, he's like a track star. This is the type of stuff that race situation. So OJ type level situation. He was looking forward to taking his game to the next level. His commitment, dedication, leadership, sheer grit made him rise to the level of success that he desired. His twin brother, Hunter, played beside him. We will all remember him for the way he impacted others' lives. I love you forever, son. It's not goodbye. It's see you later. God will take care of us till we meet again. Rest in peace. Love, Dad. So, of course, that's tragic. It's always sad when someone gets stabbed. Stabbing may be one of the most violent ways to kill someone. Also, I don't know if I could ever stab someone. I'm just saying, dude, Aiden Ross, I just noticed this. Aiden Ross donated $10,000, one of the top donations. Yeah, well, this is something that is out of control. And that's why I didn't want to talk about it, because it's like flaming hot right now. You can't touch it. It's sort of the whole, and now people are saying that because it's so flaming hot, you can't touch it. Now there's no way that it can be a fair trial. People are saying, oh, well, Carmelo Anthony was protecting himself very much the same as Kyle Rittenhouse, when Kyle Rittenhouse was at that thing, and then he shot 2 people, and now Kyle Rittenhouse has a podcast or something. I don't know. But I don't know if you can really compare. Kyle Rittenhouse was being attacked with the skateboard, and he was kind of surrounded by all sides. And I'm pretty sure the people that it's kind of funny. I won't say it's funny, but the people he shot 3 people, and I think 2 of them died. Kyle Rittenhouse, and of the 2 out of the 3 that died, I think both of them were convicted sex offenders, which is, I mean, I don't know what the odds of that are when you go to like a anti-fascist and Antifa rally, but I mean, 2020 were some wild times. I mean, that just goes to show you how wild we aren't, guys. If this happened in 2020, I mean, I wouldn't even be leaving the house. I would be indoors, hunkered down. I would be scared to even go outside. I mean, things are bad. I went to Minnesota a year after the whole Floyd situation, and there was still buildings like just destroyed, like rubbleized, like Gaza buildings, just, and it was in like the neighborhood, like it was Walgreens gone, and then we would go to, I think we went to the Mall of America there, and I'll always remember this. They had in Minnesota, I think that's where it was, they had, in the Mall of America, they had guards on duty to mask check you, and they would tell you to put your mask or they would escort you out of the building. It was just like a huge culture shock coming from the South. I'm like, whoa. Like, people took COVID, out of hand. I hope a lot of those people feel embarrassed, but unfortunately, I think that they don't. Sometimes I still see like a remnant of the past. I'll see someone drive by with their mask on, and I just have to like just stare at them and watch them pass. It's like an effigy. It's like a phantasm of the past, just like driving by. You're like, whoa, that person's gone. That person doesn't exist anymore. But they do. Like, they don't exist, but they do. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll finish this off with Mr. Beast. What's up, Mr. Beast? What's going on with Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast funds surgical center in Ghana to provide health care. Wow, this is really coming all full circle. Ghana, is the country where the potential pope is from. Mr. Beast, who is Mr. 666, Mr. the Beast, if you know what I mean, has opened a surgical center. Why is he opening a surgical center? Some critics would say organ harvesting. Some would say he's just a good guy. I would say I mean, maybe yeah, no, he's probably harvesting organs. Let's see what he has to say.
In Ghana, sadly, countless children are abandoned and fall victim to being captured as slaves to the fishing industry. And after speaking with countless locals, I came to the heartbreaking realization that being rescued is only the beginning of their struggle. Even for those fortunate enough to escape, years of relentless abuse and exploitation have left them in desperate need of medical care, yet there are no adequate facilities to provide the treatment they so urgently require. So we made it our mission to build a brand new surgical center in the heart of Ghana to combat the lack of medical care, to help survivors like these two brothers, Ernest and Richmond, who were sold as slaves after being abandoned by their parents and only rescued at the age of 16.
When our mom and dad give birth to us, we don't find them, and they leave us.
As slaves of the fishing industry, the two were separated and had to survive on their own, not knowing if they will ever see each other again.
I'm glad Mr. Beast decided not to add the dings and the noises on that. But I mean, I wanna believe that he's doing good for Ghana. But you know, there's just something inside of me, something deep inside of my gut, that just tells me Mr. Beast is no bueno. There's something that's gonna come out about Mr. Beast. I don't know what it is, and I don't know when it's gonna come, but it's gonna be bad. And I'm talking bad. Like, really bad. Like, no one will believe it when it comes out bad. But I know that Oprah Winfrey, I think, has like an all-girl school in Ghana, or maybe it's Haiti or something. So, you know, this is a thing that these people do, right? We all know Oprah is up to no good. There's no good going on with Oprah. Maybe the best thing to come from Oprah is her book club, and that thing is dog shit. Like, she put, I think, Michelle Obama's book on that, and that shit was ass. I never read it, but I imagine that shit must be stinky. But you know, it's all I'm saying is it's a move. It's a move that happens. I don't know. The problem with when you're dealing with Haiti is a lot of those kids are undocumented. They could disappear and no one would know. So that's when you got to start asking questions of why is, why do you open an all-girls school in Haiti? Are you helping or are you not? Like, I want to believe that he's helping. I want to believe that he's going in there with good intentions and everything's going good. But, I just, maybe I'm too callous or something, or I just don't trust him. I don't trust that stupid grin on his face. I don't trust how he's always doing shit for content. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Yeah. All right, let's continue on to TikTok time. Something's going to come out about Mr. Beast, and I'm going to be right. All right, let's start off with this. This is this is a funny news
drinking.
Intro. This is a funny news intro. Here we go. I was dying laughing at this in my office.
Drinking on the job, groping women, even forcing female employees into a wet t-shirt contest. These are just a handful of shocking 200-plus allegations spanning nearly a decade and detailed in a newly released investigation into Seattle City Light.
Apprentices were required to frequently buy alcohol, and then a crew chief operated his work truck as a rolling mobile bar, accusing a
I don't see anything wrong with this.
Crew chief and another network employee of inappropriate touching. One report says a crew chief took an employee that worked as a cable splicer to a bar to get her drunk and then allegedly took compromising photos of her. Another stated crews would go to
What? This is happening in Seattle City Light Worker. This is, I mean, the intro to this is crazy.
Drinking on the job, groping women, even forcing female employees into a wet t-shirt contest.
I mean, God forbid. I mean, the thing says, God forbid a man have hobbies. I mean, my guy was a businessman. Let him off the hook. Let him out. Free my man. Here's a, this is pretty good. This is the Daily Mail interviewing this woman who's a little too upset at this pancake
Understand
shirt.
how you even think to create a shirt like this.
It seems public decency has fallen. A restaurant is facing backlash over a controversial new food challenge. The meal, 2 towering stacks of pancakes, and for those who want to commemorate the feast, a t-shirt is available.
So if you do this, it's called the 2 Towers Pancake Challenge. You get a t-shirt that says, I took down the towers in under 9 minutes and 11 seconds, which is so good. So good.
Well, reading, I took down the towers in under 9 minutes and 11 seconds. Many say the design is a tasteless joke. Others argue it's just breakfast.
It's just
but
breakfast,
one woman
guys.
is speaking out against it.
One woman.
Joke. It's not funny.
Imagine being that upset about, it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
New food challenge. The meal, 2 towering stacks of pancakes, and for those who want to commemorate the feast,
Should I
a
buy one of
t-shirt
these
is
t-shirts?
available reading, I took down the towers.
It's the only way to do this, to beat the challenge, because I want that shirt. I want that shirt bad. But that's one of those shirts you have to earn. That's like, you got to earn those stripes, my guy. That's a bronze star right there. Golden heart, valor. And buying one of those would be stolen valor, by the way. If you bought one of those. This is another one with that weird
It
music.
sounds like you want to kind of enclose all these homeless people in one territory. And I don't.
What I want to do is
and
give
I
them
don't
free
think.
fentanyl. I mean, that's what I want.
So this is the California mayor says he wants to give homeless people free fentanyl.
And I don't.
What I want to do is
and
give
I
them
don't
free
think.
fentanyl. I mean, that's what I want to do.
Do what?
I want to give them free fentanyl. Yeah.
I can't understand what you're saying. You wanted to get them what?
I want to give them all the fentanyl they want. That's what I want.
I don't regret saying it. I'm happy that we're focusing the attention on an aspect of this problem that nobody seems to want to look at. These people are killing our citizens. Not a lot of them, but some of them.
Dude, I like this guy's vibe. I like this guy's vibe a lot. And I think I've said this before. Yes, give them fentanyl. Either that or launch them into space. I think I said that last episode. Launch them into space if you really want to get rid of them. But I like this guy, how he just bluntly says, no, I want to give them.
I understand what you're saying. You wanted to get them what?
I want to give them all the fentanyl they want. That's what I want.
I want them to die. I want them to kill themselves on fentanyl. That's what he's saying. And it's pretty blunt, and I respect a blunt man. What's this one?
The government sure know how to fuck the block up, huh?
This is funny. This is definitely a CIA. This guy took a video of this new store that came up on the corner on his block, and it's called Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. That's the name of the store. It's called ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms.
The government sure know how to fuck the block up, huh? Fuck the streets up with this one. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
The CIA don't throw soft punches. They are always
That is
aiming
crazy.
for a brutal knockout. They are always aiming for the head. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Dude, that's the...
Wow. 2 carcinogens, 1...
That is the trifecta of hood action.
Patrons in the same room. If you're looking for liquor, you go over there. You want firearms, you want to let some shots off, you go over here. I don't want the... Why are these things mixing?
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms in one building. That is what's called a honeypot, people. If you see that on your block, do not engage. Do not engage. alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
The government sure know how to fuck the block up, huh?
And that shit's real, dude. This is like
They
real.
listed the 3 deviant products that they're peddling. Come on, dress.
And that's wild. All right, one more. And this guy, this is a guy that popped up on my For You page. This guy's he has grills. He's got, his hair in braids. He's got ice, and he's rapping, but he's not rapping about Gucci and fucking bitches and having money. No, this is the new wave of Bible rap, which is strange. Very, it's just interesting.
Purchase that. Bought her a Bible, not a Birkin bag.
Bought her a Bible, not a Birkin bag.
Shawty asked me to go where and where them churches at.
Where them churches at?
She got that spirit, ain't flirting back. Once God bring you out that what, you won't double back. Shawty asked me what I bang, I told Shawty that I'm a Jesus disciple. Matter of fact, his biggest sniper, I walk through the hood with my hand on the Bible, sick in the laws.
I mean, that does go hard. He said, as a matter of fact, I'm his biggest sniper. I walk through the hood with my hand on the Bible.
Matter of fact, his biggest sniper, I walk through the hood with my hand on the Bible, sick in the laws. Preaching the word up in Cali, they thinking I'm a 49. I'm calling for ball, cause I be shooting those scripts at the devil like I'm in the final. Step on.
I be shooting them scripts at the devil like I'm in the finals.
On the ops, I got the devil head under my heel. I feel like Tyreek. Tell him come shop. You want salvation? That's cool. I'm knowing who got it for free. This ain't a Glock. They call it a KJV. Hit harder than the 223.
Wow. Okay, now this actually does go hard. So this guy's good.
You want salvation? That's cool. I'm knowing who got it for free. This ain't a Glock. They call it a KJV.
This ain't a Glock. This ain't a Glock. They call it the KJV, which is the King James version. They call it the KJV. Hit harder than a 223. Jeez, unfortunately this is good. This is hard.
Hit harder than the 223. For Christ, I'm a dog. I'm just the one in containment, the one that can keep on the leash.
I just think it's so funny that he's like drill rapping about Jesus. It kind of feels like a bit.
Finna pop out with B3 like the heat, man, they thinking I'm fresh out the beach. Come on. JC really pay for my sins. You look at me, you see a walking receipt. Too many losses that I done took in my life. You would think that I lived on the bleachers. Priest to the streets, dropping the word on the block, get it hot like a chicken for heater. Pulling no deep, it went on.
I mean, that's just funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with a friend. If you didn't, I mean, you know the rules. Always comment down below why you didn't like this episode. This has been episode 205. Goodbye. Let's end it with some high energy. Where's your head at?